Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gamers Digester channel. Today I'd like to touch on reviews, and in particular, Steam Deck and Asus ROG Ally Reviews. The Steam Deck's a little bit dated now. It's a year old. But I think that a lot of reviewers who've been given the new Ally to review, I think you need to take their reviews with a grain of salt. Now, if you look at a lot of these channels who are given test products to review, they were given them for free, as well as controllers, all sorts of devices. But if the channel that is reviewing the Ally, if they are a Steam Deck based channel, I think that might be a big red flag. If you've built your entire brand around one device and now you're being given the competition to review, there might be some kind of bias in there. I know that a lot of ones that I've seen, they either love it. There's some people who have a lot of complaints, which makes sense, right? A wider audience of people, if you look at a bunch of different reviews, there's probably going to be some varied opinions about the fact. But from what I've seen, and you guys will have to let me know if you've noticed anything, a lot of those channels, I won't name any, who are centered around the Steam Deck. They literally will have something about the Steam Deck in their name. They do mods, they do whatever, they post reviews for games. It's honestly going to be a lot of, the Ally is just, there's a lot of things it does wrong. Or they'll list off how confusing Windows might be, or label on some other things on top of that really just isn't true and doesn't hold any merit. So if you are trying to decide if you're one side or the other, if you're going to be pre-ordering, or this is something that you are maybe looking at in the future, there are some channels that you can trust. One of my favorite go-tos is ETA Prime. If you haven't heard of his channel and you're watching this, I'm very surprised. He's got around 1 million subscribers at the moment, but he does a lot of very unbiased reviews, and it's not just Steam Deck and Ally. It is every handheld, everything that you haven't heard of before. Like I've barely heard of half of these before when I see them on his channel, and they look really cool. The only problem with a lot of these is they are extremely overpriced, in my opinion. A lot of these smaller companies who are making these handheld devices, they come at a big loss. Most consoles, hate to break it to you, they sell them at a loss. They plan to make a ton of that money back in game sales or controller sales, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different ways to get your money back as a company like that. Something where you're Microsoft and you own Xbox. The Xbox, its share, I guess, is tiny compared to what Microsoft is actually worth. So it's not as big of a deal. Game Pass is pretty killer right now. It's doing really well, but PlayStation, on the other hand, is having a bit harder of a time trying to make that money back. They really just have Sony, like the movie production, stuff like that, which, I mean, they do well, but there's a reason why Xbox can make the acquisitions it's been making. By buying Bethesda, by buying all these other companies out that Sony can only even scratch the surface with. They just purchased Bungie, but that's besides the point. Pretty much what I'm saying is a lot of these devices are sold at a loss. So if you take a step back and you look at what they should really cost if they want to make a profit, now it starts making sense why those handhelds cost so much. $1,500 in some cases, some 1,000, 1,100, somewhere around there. Like anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500, you could build a pretty nice PC for that amount. And really what you're getting is, it's something close to that, but it's not quite. So I think it's a pretty big deal when someone that you're watching to try and get advice on what to buy is swaying you one way or the other. When I was younger, I used to watch, I kind of still am this way till this day. I do a ton of research into my products. I love figuring out all the nitty gritty about each and everything. The Steam Deck was one of those times where I didn't. It looked great. I saw ads for it. I saw it on the Steam website, and I was like, you know what, this looks sick. purchased it. Come to find out, half the games I want to play I can't play because it's Linux. And there's been some comments of, oh, how didn't you know I knew it was Linux. I just didn't know Linux had so many limitations. I didn't know that Windows was that much more superior to Linux, in my opinion. For this kind of device where Linux doesn't really require that much it's not as expensive, it's not as taxing on the device. It makes sense why Steam used their own operating system in this device. It's not coming out of left field or anything. So for me, that's why Windows was so much better. But all those other handhelds costing so much, it just didn't make sense. So that's why when I saw this, I only watched a couple videos, maybe one or two, and I thought, this will be a good purchase. No one brought it up. Nobody brought up the lack of anti-cheat support, how the actual Linux side of this, like the operating system side where you can go to websites and stuff, it's really not anything special. No one really explains that stuff because they don't want to downsell the product. If they are a Steam Deck YouTube channel, they want to sell you the product and get you hooked, because then you'll come back and watch more of their stuff, watch gameplay stuff. It's really deceptive, in my opinion. I want to go somewhere to get an honest review. That's really what I'm looking for. There's been people who think that a lot of the points I make are dumb or are nonsensical and that I should have known better. You know what? You're probably right in some of those, with a lot of those points, but if I made the mistake, I know there are other people who might make it as well. So I'm just trying to have someone else who might have been in a similar situation as me have the chance, by watching this video, to make an educated decision. I do love this device. It is very great. It's very fun. I love the Switch as well. I always like pulling this thing out to go play. I think Factorio is one of the best ports ever. Besides, it's up there with Doom Eternal. The controls, everything they did to make this work was fantastic. If you know, you know. But back to the reviews really quick. Some of you might not have even noticed at all that there is some bias out there. Of course there's going to be. If you require to get views about a certain handheld and there's another one out that is leaps and bounds ahead in performance, it might be missing a couple things, trackpads, stuff like that. It's kind of hard to stay neutral, So I just wanted to let you guys know that going forward, when mine actually arrives, that's what you can expect from this channel. This will be a very unbiased, truthful. If I don't like something, I'll tell you. If I do like something, I'll tell you. And that's really all there is to it. I'm not getting paid. I'm not sponsored. We're nowhere close to having any partnerships with YouTube or anything like that. So this is just something I've been doing for fun. So there really is no consequence for me telling you guys the truth, which is what I plan on doing. I'm having fun here. So just expect that. I'm going to be doing unboxing, all that stuff. I'll take my time with it. If you guys want to see anything any games on there at certain specs or settings, let me know. I can try those out for you. Really, if you have any personal requests, let me know and I can take care of that. As for where I was going with this video, I just wanted it to be known that there is channels who are trying to deceive you guys with ill intent. And I know that sounds so malicious. It's really not that awful, but I just want to make it known that won't be occurring here. That's not something that's on the agenda. And I really do appreciate you guys sticking around and hearing me blab and ramble on. I'm probably going to be uploading another video tonight. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. We just hit 50 subscribers today. Pretty big milestone for me. I mean, I just started the channel probably a little bit less than a week ago, and we started at like 5 subscribers. So this is really exciting, you guys. I'm enjoying myself. I know right now the actual video itself isn't super fun to watch, but me personally, if I'm watching YouTube, I'm barely watching the video. So I don't really have, I have a rig. I could do some editing. I'm not super experienced with that stuff, but I really wouldn't even know what to show you guys. Do you want to see gameplay in the background? Like, if there is something that you want to see other than just my room here, just let me know. I can try and figure something out. Or if you don't mind that this is what you're seeing, then let me know. But again, thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed just this honest conversation, leave a like, hit subscribe. There's going to be a lot more of this where that came from. But with that, thank you guys. Bye-bye.